this is so awesome. Ah! Ah! Oh. Oh. What's a computer? iPad in a tree, my ass. Oh, all right. What's happening? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Buy. You know the drill. It's everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. The big news, Apple announced that the new iMac Pro will be available on Thursday, Friday the 14th. And if you're a badass YouTuber like Marques Brownlee or Jonathan Morrison, you got a first look before anyone else. Now, in their first impressions, they both tested the new 10-core Intel Xeon-based iMac Pro with a Geekbench multi-core score of over 37,400, which is 93% faster than the latest 27-inch 5K iMac. Brownlee says only 8-core and 10-core models will be available on the 14th, with the 18-core iMac Pro and a new 14-core configuration available sometime early next year. Yeah, it's a lot of power with a real sleek design that's quiet, but you're obviously getting no upgradability starting at $4,999, which is pretty comparable to similarly spec'd out systems on the PC side. Now, I think I've ranted enough about how the iMac Pro is the clearest example to me where the leadership stopped listening to what their Pro customers wanted and felt, you know what? This is what people want. We're making an iMac Pro. So we'll see how it does as we wait for a rethought Mac Pro that will be modular and upgradable in the future, something pros really want, like 4 years plus later. All right, you know Apple always has to surprise us with something new with the iMac Pro as well. And lo and behold, they are blessing us with their first ever Apple Black USB to Lightning cable. Ah! That's news to you, unless you go to this online store I just heard about called Amazon, which has sold them forever with over 51,000 customer reviews. Now, the other big story of the week, Apple acquired Shazam, the music and TV show recognition service, for around $400 million, according to TechCrunch. It's their biggest high-profile purchase since the $3 billion Beats acquisition in 2014. Shazam is already integrated into Apple Music, and Siri already identifies songs thanks to Shazam integration as far back as iOS 8. So expect them to bring it even closer into the Apple ecosystem. But if you're using Spotify or Android or other non-Apple platforms, would Apple pull the plug on you? Hopefully not. So maybe they'll bring something new like an always-on display that can identify songs wherever you are and show them to you. Oh yeah, just like the Pixel 2. Now don't shoot the messenger, I'm just speaking the truth. Apple says we have exciting plans in store and we look forward to combining with Shazam. Now, Apple has also released another update. This time it's iOS 11.2.1. Yeah, it's another one. This time it fixes a bug that allowed unauthorized access to HomeKit accessories like smart locks. And if you're a Sprint customer on iOS 11.2 and weren't able to use Wi-Fi calling recently, that affected iPhones all the way from the 6 and up to the 8 Plus. Sprint recently released a carrier update that appears to have solved that problem. All right, Phil Schiller, our buddy Phil, was recently interviewed by T3, the UK-based tech magazine, and he talked about the iPad Pro as a tablet or a Mac replacement. What we've learned, truthfully, is that it's both, and that depends on the user. For some people, iPad Pro is a replacement for their computer. The way you mostly hear about this is people say, I use a computer at my desk, or I use a notebook at my desk, but when I travel just with my iPad Pro. It is so great in that situation. And I agree, it's my primary device when I'm traveling, but you can't expect everyone to drop the cheddar for a computer and an iPad Pro. Now, in the interview, Schiller also referred to the iPad Pro as a computer on several occasions. Phil, come on, that goes completely against your latest TV commercial.
What's a computer?
And you know what? That's a bad apple. Now, no word if Phil has used an iPad in a tree. I wouldn't recommend it. Johnny Ive is back to retake direct control of the Apple design team after taking on the role of Chief Design Officer and overseeing the construction of the massive Apple Park. During that time, we've seen some questionable things like the Apple battery case, which, when flipped around, looks like the iPhone X's notch. Like, look at that thing. It's the same. Now, will that mean the notch will be gone in the next iPhone design? Most likely, notch. And here's a fun story. Google released what was trending in 2017 with their most searched terms of the year. And in a surprise, the iPhone 8 was the second most searched term, followed by the iPhone X, or 10. Now, my guess is that the 8 beat out the 10 because that's how people were referring to it for most of the year. And totally unrelated to the iPhone, the most searched song was Despacito. Despacito. All right, let's get to the winners of our Mophie wireless charging base giveaway. I asked you all what fired me up the most about Apple's latest TV ad, and it was, a little tricky, but I'm sure you've put it together by now. The worst part about that ad was iPad Barb using it in a tree. Come on, like I clapped it out. Almost all the YouTube comments were completely wrong. So congrats go out to Applebite Nation's email winner Sylvia Parks, and on Twitter, Eric Francolino. Congrats, we'll be in touch, and for all you that are losers, I still think you're special. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. We're gearing up for the holidays and then the CES break, so we will have you covered for the next month until we return. You can email me at theapplebite@cnet.com or tweet me at Brian Tong. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch y'all next time for another Bite of the Apple.